There's 4 ways to make money here in America. And don't worry, I'm going to get into a little bit later on which one is the best, or which one is going to do you the best justice, right? Based on a few different things, right? But there's 4 ways to make money or to produce income here in America. But I don't want you to think of only income as income. I want you to think of this as value. There's 4 ways to be able to provide value to the world. There's 4 ways, those kinds of things. All right. Think a little bit outside the box. Come with me. So you can be an employee, right? That means you have a job. Oh man, I love this so much. You have a job, right? Your time is money, and I know a lot of us we don't want to be there, right? We don't want to have to work in order to make enough money. We want to make enough money so that we don't have to work, right? But unfortunately, we're so used to and programmed in our brains to actually grow up, graduate high school, go to college, get a degree, go find a really good job, make 50, 60, maybe $80,000 a year, right? Let's say that you go to and get your master's, right? You might be making about $90,000 a year. You're okay with that. $90,000 sounds like a lot of money, right? You're comfortable, right? Maybe you go and get your PhD, your MD or something like that, right? You become a doctor, whatever the case is, right? Maybe you make $100,000, maybe even $200,000, right? You're comfortable. You're living fine. You don't have anything to really worry about. Like your kids don't have to like really grow up in a poor neighborhood, right? Like you regardless of what status you are in that point, you still have a job. You have a job, right? The more time that you put in, the more money you make. You check in, you clock in. If you work 8 hours, you get paid for 8 hours of work, right? We all know that. We're all used to that. Like if somebody has never been an employee before, I'd be shocked, and I'd say, "Hey, teach me your ways from whenever you were growing up. I need to figure that out." There are some people. There are some people who right out the gate are one of these other three, right? But what what do you feel like typically happens when somebody gets fed up of having a job? One of two things happen, right? Now this depends on that success blueprint in your mind, right? If you don't have a success mindset, if you have a poor mindset, you're gonna hate it. You might try some other things, but you're always gonna return back to being an employee because of the rest of this that makes it so challenging. Now, if you have a mindset, you got that success blueprint where you can go into your head and say, okay, well, and this is something that I love about people. Well, I hate having a job. Why don't I just go and own my own job, right, and become self-employed? Now I love these people, self-employed individuals. They're passionate, and I love like it's phenomenal to see the passion that they have. Right, these are going to be like your mom and pop shops, right? Maybe you have somebody who loves making like snow goods, right? They love making bath bombs, and they love all that stuff. Like they want to go and create that stuff so that way they can sell it to people, run their business and build upon their passion, their hobbies, and but make money from it, right? Again, remember, it's not only about the providing the income piece, the value that they're providing, right? They produce the value, but the downside to owning a job is that when you stop, that value stops getting produced that you're helping for with other people, right? Let's say that you decided to create a nonprofit organization to help out underprivileged children, right? You love what you do. You're very passionate about what you do, and that's why you're self-employed, right? Because you want to be in that field helping out those underprivileged children. But the moment that value stops and the moment your income stops, right? That's the downside. But it's fantastic. And because we need these people. There's a lot of people that are in this self-employed position, right? There's like 95% of the population, it says, are in the self-employed position, right? Now, that's not to say that you might not like have employees and things like that, because you might actually have employees, right? Imagine walking into a steakhouse, and that's run by somebody's great grandfather. I don't know if a great grandfather is actually being self-employed running a steakhouse, but hey, stick with me, okay? You walk in and you feel the nice like rustic. You smell the wood burning of like the I don't know the grill in the back, right? And grandpa brings out that nice fat juicy delicious steak that he just grilled up, nice and charred on the outside. And I don't know about you guys, but I like my steak nice and rare, charred on the outside. That's me. But like he does that because he loves what he does, and he is willing to put in the money or the time to make that money just to be able to provide value, right? That's what he loves. That's what being self-employed is, though. And if he were to leave, his business would slow down drastically. And that's all right. But again, your time is still your money. You're still trading that time for money. Now, this is where those people who have mentors really get the chance to shine, because yes, if you have the success mindset, your success mindset is going to get you far enough to say, you know what? How about I just go and own my own job? Like I'll just build my own passion. I love doing this. I'm going to do this. Having that mentorship is going to allow you to take it a step further, right? So go on a trip with me really quickly. I told you guys I'm going to talk about McDonald's a lot. I'm going to talk about McDonald's a lot today. I got a lot of stuff talking about McDonald's. Let's just say that you decide to open up a McDonald's, right? Obviously, you open up McDonald's, right? You franchise. You spend about $1.5 million to open up a McDonald's and franchise it, right? If you're opening up McDonald's, you're not going to be opening it up so that way you can just go be a fry cook. You're gonna spend over $1 million to go be a fry cook at this McDonald's, right? You open it up because you want time freedom, right? You never ever walk into a McDonald's and see the franchise owner there. If you do, it's probably because the McDonald's just opened up, right? There's some grand opening of some sort, right? Maybe they're coming down for like an inspection or something. But like that franchise owner is never there. Never. And so how is that franchise owner making money? It's because he franchised it to create a system that makes the money for him, that produces that value for him, right? So that way he cannot be there at all. The system continues to go, and he continues to produce income, right? Now I'm going to be honest. Building up a system and owning a system, that takes it takes a lot of work, right? It's going to take a lot of work on the front end. But let's just say that he did that. Spend his $1.5 million to franchise this McDonald's. The next 10 years, maybe he might profit about $150,000 a year on average. Say he does that for 10 years. After 10 years, he finally breaks even. And now he's already built up and trained a really good system, right? When you're a true business owner, the more value, the more income that you get is based on the more time and training that you put into that system, whether it's people, whether it's objects or AI nowadays, right? Whatever it is, like that's what actually is going to allow you to create that system and have much more value and impact on people's lives, right? And so with that, after those 10 years, he's profited. He's finding every dollar he's making, he makes. He's straight up value. I love that about true business owners. And then the last way to make money in America is being an investor. Now, this is just for your own investments, right? Where your money is working for you, right? You put money here, you can allow it to wait. You have to have a lot of discipline, right? A lot more discipline for these kinds of, for this way to be able to produce income and value, right? Your money is working for you, is building for you, is bringing you in more money, so that way you can then put more money in, right? A lot of people they figure out, well, yes, I would rather be self-employed, but I'd rather own the system so that I can have time freedom. You build up once again from there. You say, well, if I pour more money into my system will create more money for me. If I pour more value into my system my system will create more value for me and for the people that I'm serving, right? That's the investments piece. 4 ways to provide value or to make money in America. Now, which one of these 4 are you? Are you an employee? You're working, at a hospital? I don't know why I said a hospital. Are you an employee? You work at a McDonald's? Right? Are you self-employed? Do you have a mom and pop burger shack? Are you a business owner? Are you that franchise owner that owns a system that's running for you so that way you can continue making more and more money? Or are you currently investing into systems, businesses, investments, real estate, stock market, indexing strategies? Are you currently investing into those things to make you more money later on down the line? Which one are you? Well, Charmy, which one is the best? What should I be doing? Well, that depends on your goals. I'll tell you that I never want to be an employee. That I can't do, right? I decided to leave being W-2 so that way I can stop being a boss and not have to worry about a boss. I mean, so if you like having a boss, if you love having, limited responsibilities and things like that, hey, if you're an employee, you're in the right place. Keep trading your time for money. Hopefully you find somewhere else that's going to give you more money for the time that you put it in. Right? Some people, they love what they do. And once again, if you're very passionate about something, self-employed is the way. Right? Let's just say that you're an artist. Right? And you are creating your own art. You're self-employed and you sell your own art. Beautiful. You love what you do. You're passionate. If you're a passionate person about what you do, self-employed is the way to go because you own your job. And you can put more time into whatever it is that you're passionate about to provide much more value and income for yourself. But what happens when you want to retire from drawing art? Again, if you stop, your income stops. So how do you create a system so that way you have time value, and no matter what, when you stop creating art, you're still creating value and you're still bringing an income for yourself? How do you create a system? That's what we're going to talk about today. I just want to talk about for a little bit here. That's the biggest tip that I have to say for this week. Figure out ways to implement systems that do the work for you so that way you can step away, continue to make money, continue to provide value. That's a huge tip of the week, right? So for you, let's just say for me in my industry, ways that I can build a system or that I can work on owning a system or providing more value to the system that I have. In the finance industry, one huge way to be able to create a system is to where I have people who love what I do, who for themselves, they send me people. I don't have to go out and get the people. Like not even like a door-to-door salesman or like, doing a bunch of cold leads or cold calls or any of that kind of stuff. No. I'm saying like, if I can create a system, and this is for a lot of people who are in industries where they have any kind of services that they provide or any kind of sales that they do, things like that, where you are directly selling and working with and providing opportunities for people, right? Having a good word of mouth is a great system. How can you build up your word of mouth system? Right? Let's say you are a doctor starting off before you have your own independent, hospital or clinic. How can you build up a system to where your income doesn't stop even if you stop trying to find patients, even if you don't have the time to advertise and promote and market, right? How do you do that? Build up a system where the clients continue to come to you, right? Without you doing anything. Oh, I love it. It's because, like great customer service is going to allow you to do that, right? Great customer service is going to allow people to love what you did for them, especially if you're honest in what you do, especially if you're honest. It's going to allow you to build up people that say, hey, you need to talk to this person because they helped me out with my financial situation. Now I'm going to be a millionaire, by the time I retire. Hey, you need to go talk to this person because they just so happen to know a lot of really good ways to help me with my back pain, right? Figure out ways to build up a system this week. It's going to do you justice. It's going to be a lot of work. I want to tell you that, because you have to develop these systems, right? You have to know every little step and know where every little hole is in your boat, so that way you can plug it in and make sure you're taking care of your system. But if you build a good system, if you have if you put in that time, you build a good system over the course of time, at some point you're going to have that time freedom. All right, let's say you are an artist. How do you start to put systems into place so that way when you say, I want to take a month off, right, you have things like that. I had a client who he works on, he creates like one single man boats, something like that. Or it's a canoe, right? It's the canoe, but it has enough space for like one dude in it to like row his canoe. Really nice, really nice. And he wants to be self-employed. And I said, that's great. That's great, but you're thinking here. If you were great at doing this, why not create systems so that way you can do this to start off, but you teach and train other people how to build up your little community, so that way now other people are doing this for you. You now have a franchise, and you have a system that's in place because you taught them. You help them figure out ways to expand your offerings and things like that. And now they know exactly what to do, so that way when you're gone, your income is still going. You're still providing value to other people. Because I know you don't want to be building all your life. You don't want to be doing that. I know you don't want to get arthritis. What happens if you do get arthritis? And you like to draw, or you like to paint. See, you get arthritis in your hands. Well, yeah, you can probably get some braces and stuff like that, but that's the weak thing. The success piece is going to come from where you decide, I need to go ahead and figure out how to build up a system and own it. Oh man, I love it. Oh, I love systems. And then always, again, if you ever want to invest back into your business, back into your systems, that's going to produce much more money for you, much more value, right? Investing into real estate, investing into insurance, investing into the stock market, investing into these other things produces income for you, right? So that's just a huge thing. So that's tip number 1 of the week. And invest back into what you've been able to build up, right? That's going to take you so much more further.